Well, hello, my soul friends. Welcome to the Soul Nurture channel, especially a big warm welcome with a big hug of gratitude to all of my subscribers and those who watch my videos. And if you watch my videos, are you subscribed? And if not, why? Why? Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to talk about the new moon in Capricorn happening on December 23rd. And this is the second new moon in Capricorn of the year. Did you know that? We had the first one in January of this year. And I was trying to come up with what's the topic for, or what's the theme and the feeling of this new moon. And I just kept hearing, seriously? Seriously? And I'm going to get back to what that may mean. This is how I do this, my intuitive take on the new moon and the full moon. I look at the aspects, the astrology, and what I know, and there's always more to know and more to learn. Which I'm going to pause for a moment because I have an exciting announcement. I'm just going to announce it right now, okay? And that is, drum roll, please. I am so excited to announce that my astrology mentor has agreed to come on to this channel, slow start, once a month, to talk about astrology topics. And when I say that, so I feel like I'm an intuitive astrologer. I study a lot. I've been practicing astrology or learning about it since I was a teenager. I don't retain a lot of the details. I'm a big picture soul vision kind of gal. And I look at astrology from an intuitive perspective, like a divination tool to help me. I especially look at charts to help my clients see and connect back to their soul potential, to witness their soul through the chart, to cultivate that soul potential, and to navigate through life, the human experience, obstacles and challenges that sculpt that potential, right? That's kind of my role. And with my other transformational tools and healing modalities that I've been trained in for many, many different modalities. I'm not going to go into all of them again. So that's how I work with astrology. And I do the new moon and full moon to practice speaking about it. In general terms, remember, this is all general, and it is, these are probabilities and possibilities, not exactitude. And also, you're the expert of you, and the creator are unfolding something unique and beautiful through you. So what I have to say, if it resonates, awesome. And if it doesn't, hey, listen to your own soul wisdom. Okay. So I was visioning for inviting people onto my channel and expanding, doing some new things. And I asked Stephanie, Austin is her name, and I'll share more about how we met when we do the interview in January, or when she comes on in January. But she has agreed to come on, and we're going to talk. The first meeting is just to let you get to know who she is. When I say she is a profound teacher, that is just the top of the iceberg. She's so deep. Her wisdom is so deep. One of my favorite things to do with her is just to ask random questions, and she is so rich. Her wisdom is so rich. So that's happening, and on the new moon. We're going to record the new moon next month. So stay tuned for that. You're going to love her, and you're going to learn a lot from her. Okay. So now, new moon in Capricorn, the second one of the year. One thing you can do, remember, I always say that the best way to learn about astrology and yourself is to track the astrological weather. What are you noticing? Are you having an inner storm? Go look at your astrology, or contact someone like me that can help you see what might be going on. Are you doing great? Awesome. It's like you get to feel. Don't listen to an astrologer and go, oh, wow, that's going to happen. Listen to your own natural rhythms, and then notice the correspondence. That is what astrology is. It's a way to navigate our soul unfolding. It's a way to recognize the natural cycles of our being based on the celestial movements, right? So so again, you're the expert of you, but in general, new moons are the new beginnings, right? They're a time when, so new moon, for those of you who don't know, is when the sun and the moon are conjuncting. So the sun moved into Capricorn. We're now going into Capricorn season. So happy birthday, Capricorns, by the way. This is your season. This is your time to, have your solar return, which is an empowered time. A new personal year begins for you. And then so the moon's also in Capricorn. And on the 23rd, I'm going to go to my notes to get trying to get a little bit better about having some exact things to say, or because what happens is I try to just speak from my heart, and then I go, oh gosh, I forgot to mention that. So the new moon in Capricorn is happening on December 23rd at 2:17 a.m. Pacific time. And it's at 1 degree Capricorn. New, fresh Capricorn sun meets new Capricorn moon at 1 degree, also 1 degree. And that 1 degree is kind of interesting because, like, numerology would say, that's like another emphasis of a new beginning, a new energy. So that's what new moons typically offer us. And I say it that way because it's the last new moon of this year, just 2 days after the winter solstice. And if you watched my other video on winter solstice, it really is a time to kind of tune in, turn within to our own true nature, to kind of be still and listen to our soul, catch those soul visioning ideas that are coming. And so it's not like this huge time to take the initiative, to initiate action, but it is certainly a time to plant those seeds of possibilities, utilizing the energy of Capricorn. I'm going to touch on 2 other things that I want to cover. I can't cover everything going on, but the things that stood out to me is that while I'm recording this on December 20th, Jupiter is now in Aries, moved into Aries. I felt it. I have a Jupiter Aries. There's some astrologers will say we only really feel the personal planets more significantly, the movements of the sun, the moon, which are luminaries, but we call them planets for simplicity. Mercury, Venus, Mars, we really feel. And Jupiter is not a personal planet, it's a social planet, Jupiter. And so some astrologers would say, well, we wouldn't really feel that. I did. And so I'm the expert of me. I did. I woke up this morning and I felt like I felt some energy where I have been slogging the last, few months, just kind of, just no energy, not a lot of motivation. Also, Mars is retrograde in Gemini still. So maybe some of you have been feeling that. And even though I had more energy today, I'm also mindful that this is the time when, the time of the year for us in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, when we are invited to slow down a wee bit, to review, to kind of take a look at the year as we're concluding. And that is, with Capricorn, well, who is happy to help us take a good look, a serious look. And Capricorn can bring a hard look. Like, Capricorn doesn't mess around. If there's something you could be doing better, Capricorn energy is going to let you know. Ruled by Saturn, the taskmaster. Wait a minute. It's going to tell us this could be improved. Okay. So we're going to get into that in a moment. But Jupiter going direct went direct in Pisces. Was it October or November? Somewhere around there. October, I think, was in Pisces for a while. Now direct in Aries, and it's going to continue in Aries until May, and then it's going to go into Taurus, and another Jupiterian story will unfold. But so now Jupiter in Aries is about ourselves, our individuality, and Jupiter expands everything it's connected to. So trailblazing new ways of being for ourselves, for the collective. So it may feel like a little burst of energy of, okay, what do you want to do? And again, this is still planning time. Another Capricorn word, planning, getting a really good, well thought out plan of action before you take action. So then also what I noticed, and again, feeling what I've been feeling, and I know that we're all connected. So also Chiron was retrograde and has just gone direct, or it's going direct on the new moon. So what do I have about that? So Chiron retrograde, and I didn't mark the dates of when. You can look it up. When Chiron is in retrograde, remember Chiron is the wounded healer. That I love to look at that in a chart for people, because I like to identify where the wound is, to find the gift, and then to empower the North Node and that potential and the mission of possibilities for my clients. But Chiron in retrograde was probably again, you tell me, comment below if you've noticed any of this, kind of stirring up some old wounds, some revealing some things that need to be healed again, just really like fleshing out, okay, you need to look at this again in order to heal. Now that it is going direct, now we go looking for, I call it the soul medicine, what we've been cultivating in the wound to become our gift for ourselves first, and then to offer to others. Okay. So that's also going on. Now back to my Capricorn friends. Now, when I'm talking about Capricorn energy, of course, we're talking about those born during this time, Capricorn sun signs. But if you have a Capricorn moon, or like I do, a Capricorn rising, you may relate to what I'm going to say. So Capricorn is a cardinal sign, initiating action, like coming up with a new plan. Cardinal sign, earth sign, so a feminine sign. And it's I was going to say mascot. Its symbol, it's the sea goat, or we also reference the goat. And I like that one because it's like that. It feels like the Capricorn energy I experience as a Capricorn rising, of just continually working my way up the mountain, sliding down, working hard to get back up there, wanting to get to the top. So Capricorn, archetypal expressions of Capricorn are, wanting to to accomplish something, to, they have a reputation of being more serious. I know that as a rising sign, Capricorn, any Capricorn rising signs out there? Or do you have a moon in Capricorn? Or is it your solar return time? Are you a Capricorn sun? We do tend to have the rising signs in particular, because remember, the rising sign is our persona. It's the first experience people have of us. So my rising sign in Capricorn, the first experience people report back to me is usually, I thought you were so serious, or so I used to get like, I remember way back in high school when I went to my first reunion and I was a little more comfortable in my being, a lot of people would say, I didn't know how to approach you. You seemed like you had a wall up, very reserved. And so, because Capricorn can be like, I'll show you my cards after you show me yours. There is a kind of calculating energy with Capricorn, not in a negative way, although we could talk about the shadow side of Capricorn, and yeah, it'd be more calculating. Is what's my best play here, like a chess game. But mostly it's from a place of purpose, another Capricorn word, and maybe some protection, so Capricorn energy is really driven. It's like a professional drive, really ambitious, wanting to achieve, wanting to offer something meaningful, purposeful to the world, wanting to be needed for that, having something that is, helpful, wanting to, offer something to improve the world, yeah. So, and Capricorn energy can be practical and pragmatic and matter of fact, and they're the hard workers of the zodiac. Capricorn, especially again sun and risings, because Saturn, ruled by Saturn, there's always one task after another. There's always something else to do. In fact, I have to learn to shut it off and say, I'm just going to be, I'm not doing. Okay. It's a good message for Capricorns, clock out, just be, right? So, and also when I'm talking about sun, moon, or rising, it impacts you, especially where the new moon is, whatever house in your natal chart is ruled by Capricorn. So I want to say that I use Placidus, which is sometimes there's intercepted houses, like my first house. I'm 26-degree Capricorn rising, which means that the rest of my first house is Aquarius and actually Pisces too. I've got a busy first house. So the first impression of me is very Capricorn, serious. I had a client who I was speaking with the other day. She said, well, actually 2 people within the same days said, you're so boundary, like you have such good boundaries. And that is another Capricorn word. Like Capricorns, will set a boundary, will make sure that, boundaries are important, and they'll teach people, no, that's not going to work for me, which I love to teach that to my recovering people pleasers like me. That's not going to work for me, or that doesn't work for me. So Capricorn, are good at setting boundaries. The boundaries that they don't always set is with themselves in terms of limit of work. Like they can tend to be hard workers, workaholics, because there's never an end. There's always a project or something. You hear me a lot, even on these videos, I'll say, I'm working on a project, So very Capricornian. Now, the other side of Capricorn, though, and I guess we could say shadowy, is kind of, again, feeling limited or restricting self or restricting others, materialistic, driven by accomplishment and productivity rather than being, right? Shadow maybe, or strength, I don't know. I do resonate with being more like a hermit, more like I say a lone wolf. This is Capricornian too. We've learned from someplace in our early beginnings, either sun or rising, and maybe even moon, but in our early development, we learned we had to be self-sufficient. A lot of times when there's Capricorn energy in a chart, it's like you to grow up fast, you had to be the adult child for whatever your circumstances were. I also have Saturn in my first house, which is a double whammy of Capricorn energy, as Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So yeah, when I was a little girl, I had to be an adult to figure out, navigate life. And I tend to do that still. I'll ask for help maybe once, or let me take that back. It takes me a while to ask for help. If my request isn't met in a way that feels like safe and supported, I'll retract it and figure it out myself. It's very old patterning in me, but it's very much a Capricorn pattern. And again, comment, Capricorn people out there, if you feel this. So, okay, I think that's enough. I want to say, Capricorn governs the hair, teeth, knees, skin, and the skeletal structure in our bones, right? Connected to bones. And that's where boundaries come in, skin, it's like our boundary between ourselves and the world. Okay. So I do want to touch on this too, because this is what you all may be feeling right now as we move into Capricorn season. Dun, dun, dun. It's kind of like this potential of heavier, maybe like a doom and gloom, more pessimistic, more like, especially as in the Northern Hemisphere, when, we have the longest dark night on winter solstice. Even though we're returning to the light, we're in the darkness first. So Capricorn energy can feel like going into the darkness with a purpose, to be willing to look at the foundation of your life and your dreams and your plan and your vision and say, okay, maybe this isn't working, right? Using that energy of Capricorn, which is the authority. And we all are the authority of ourselves, but Capricorn really does take pride in having the final answer. Okay. So let's see, what else did I have? Just things like, discipline is another Capricornian word, integrity, responsibility. That's just really, if I had to pick one word for Capricorn energy, it's responsibility. And you know that what responsibility is, the ability to respond. So Capricorns are very capable. This energy you feel like, oh, maybe I can do that. But here's the conundrum of Capricorn energy. They are very capable, and yet they don't believe they're very capable. Capricorn energy is because it's very hard, takes a hard look at, I think Capricorn energy can feel into the potential and the possibilities, and it doesn't like being so far away from the outcome, the achievement, the accomplishment. And so when this is really for me, so I can be more gentle with myself, because my goals are lofty. And if I image that I'm not quite at the top of the mountain, that's when I can be really hard on myself, where I need to be by now. What should I be doing? All those should words. I think shoulding on yourself comes from the Capricorn energy in our chart. So the new moon, wherever Capricorn is in your natal chart, I mentioned mine will be happening actually it's in my 12th house, because I use Placidius. If you were doing whole sign houses, and I don't, and there's a reason why. And I think that Stephanie and I are going to explore that topic, as well as the topic of Western tropical versus sidereal. So lots of good topics coming. And if you have any topics you would like explored on this channel with my expert master teacher, astrology mentor extraordinaire, comment or send me an email as we prepare for that February conversation. Okay, so what are you feeling when you watch this as we're moving towards that new moon? Remember, 3 days before and 3 days after, we get to borrow the energy of Capricorn. And not only is Capricorn, the moon and the sun conjunct in Capricorn, Mercury and Venus are also in Capricorn, but they've been there a little while, so they're not as close to, they're not in a direct conjunction, but they're in the same sign. So we're communicating with more Saturnian expression with the Capricorn and Mercury and Capricorn, which is like, we're getting serious about our conversations now. We're not as frivolous and light and jovial as we were coming out of Sagittarius season. And we're really, holding people accountable for their word and ourselves. And integrity is really important connected to here. So, so those are, 4 planets in Capricorn. And what else did I want to notice or mention about this? Well, and then there is going to be, well, I'm just not going to say what there is going to be. I'll just stay with the sun and the moon. Make it easy. Make it practical. Capricorn, just get to what's important here, right? So I'd like to know where you're feeling this energy. Have you felt, as I mentioned, Chiron stirring up old wounded places? Have you come up with an action plan for your healing? Capricorn can help you do that, to seriously take responsibility for your life, for your healing, for you. And as we do our healing, we have more to contribute from our gifting, right? Okay, let's see what else I have here. I'm going to try to make this kind of short, because I just did a video for the winter solstice and I want to wrap up. Let's see. Okay, I've got all this stuff on winter solstice. Okay, so we talked about a lot of the archetypal expressions. Yeah, I think I've covered pretty much everything. That's my Capricorn rising. Get it in there, get it taken care of. I'd like to know if you have any comments or questions about this. Utilize here, I'll just give you some possibilities how to utilize this energy for the new moon. Of course, the end of the year, and I'm going to put a video out a meditation of reviewing the year. It's the perfect time to review. And I want to just say this, Capricorn, the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. So we want to utilize the energy of Cancer, which is nurturing and compassionate, as we review our year. Because if we let Capricorn just review, we're just going to, I keep seeing like this red pen, like lining through things that didn't get done or the way that they needed to be done. And we're going to fall short. So review with compassion, but a practical look at what goals maybe did you set with the new moon at the beginning of the year in January, or what intentions or what resolutions for 2022, and how they turn out. I mean, just matter of fact, how did they turn out? Did you accomplish what you wanted? And here's the compassionate place to look. How much closer are you to the goals than you were before you started, right? Honor that. How far have you come since January at the beginning of this year? And what have you accomplished towards your soul vision, your desire, your goals? Give yourself some acknowledgement. Capricorn energy is about, like, it is, I think it's the shadow approval seeking. Well, do I have value now because I've done something? That is, I think, shadow of Capricorn. But honor yourself. How far have you come, and what have you accomplished? Maybe it didn't look like getting to the top of the mountain, but maybe you got some great new perspectives being on the side of the mountain that you did get to. Okay. So I think that's it. There's my new moon in Capricorn. I'm going to offer the meditation, and then I'm going to peace out for the rest of the year. And I'll be back in January. And at the end of January, is it 23rd? It's the new moon in Aquarius, and that's when Stephanie will be joining me. So do send me your questions. You can email me at soulvisioning@gmail.com. And thank you for being with me on this journey. This is my second year of offering videos. And if you watched the last video on the winter solstice, I was saying every year, do I want to continue? Pretty much every video. Why am I doing this? That's my Capricorn. Does it have purpose? What's the point? Is it helping? Is it serving? And from your comments and from your emails, I know that at least I'm reaching out to some of you, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so honored by you spending some of your precious time with me. So thank you for that. I really do. Thank you. And write down some of the things you're working with. I'd love to see it in the comment to support you. It's like sharing a little bit about what you're wanting to accomplish or where you're at helps others hold you. Like for me, I could hold you in support or prayer, or hold that vision that you're starting to create. I was going to say cultivate, but that's not really a Capricorn word. You're starting to draw up plans and taking your potential seriously. Capricorn wants you to do that. Okay. So much love to all of you. Happy holiday season, however you celebrate, in whichever way, whatever meaning you give it this time of the year. I do invite you just to take good, loving care of yourself, rest, replenish, as we welcome in a new year right around the corner. All my love and thank you. Joyful blessings to all of you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.